I'm currently still sitting in that silver position, seeing some downside at the moment. I've already trailed stops to break even and closed 50% of the trade. So, I'm kind of letting the market do its thing, to be honest. If we do continue back to my overall target, which is around 32, then great. If price does potentially come back down to take me out break even, then so be it as well. The trade is already managed on my part. Now it's just up to price if we are going to continue or if the market it wants to keep falling. At the moment, looking a little bit bearish, but there's nothing else for me to do apart from wait to see what price is going to do. I'm still looking short gold, but unfortunately just kind of missed out on my level, which I was looking to short from this week. It's missed out so far. It still could potentially go and hit the level, which is this low here. I've been looking for price to retrace a little bit higher up, back into 26.43. That's the area I'm looking to short from. It kind of just missed it by a very, very small margin. I need price to hit that level before I can look to take this sell. But basically, I'm looking for gold to keep falling. We've had a really nice retracement so far. I think we've just missed on the 0.618 as well. If I map it from the high to the low, you can see we've got the 0.618 at that level as well. So that's really where my confidence lies, a little bit higher up, closer to the 2650 area. We had a pretty strong close, but not quite my area, unfortunately. So I'm waiting to see if we can come up one more time before we do get the short. But overall, I am pretty bearish on gold. The idea is looking for the continuation of that bearish leg over the past few weeks. And of course, you can see on the left, we had a lovely break of structure as well. That was our major swing low, which gave us a really big rally to the upper side, giving us the highs over there. So since we've had this strong move down, the big break of structure, looking for continuation of that lower high, really. But yeah, unfortunately, just missed out on my area. So I'm seeing if gold can have one more push up to that level. And then I can start to look for some selling opportunities. And at that point, I'll probably close my silver position because, of course, if I'm buying gold, if I'm selling gold, doesn't really make too much sense to buy silver at the same time. So yeah, I'll probably close that silver position and just look to see what I can do with gold. But so far, I'm going to sit on the silver position, see what happens with that. And yeah, keep a close eye on gold. In terms of the dollar, we are looking a little bit bullish this morning, I think. Yeah, we are seeing some upside. I've been looking for a bit more retracement on the dollar back to this area over here, 105.4. Again, as we've been saying for a while now, price is trading at some really impressive areas on the higher time frames, particularly the weekly chart. As we can see, massive resistance not too long ago, being moved to the downside prior to that, and now there again. So I'm looking for a reaction. The market's pretty stretched and a really pretty impressive bullish rally. Haven't seen a bearish close on the weekly chart since the candle down here. So the market is still pretty stretched, and I do think we can see a bit of a reaction. Maybe the bigger move is to go and break through the level and see price trade above these areas. That could possibly be the outcome. But at least I do expect price to go through a bit of downside first if we are going to go and do that. Of course, nothing's 100%, but because it's such a big level, we saw a lot of rejection prior. I'm always going to expect that to happen until proven otherwise. So dropping into the lower time frames, the 4-hour chart had a nice initial reaction. Price did come back to retest that range, but it didn't really amount to much yesterday. As we can see, that's the range area. Price retested, did see a bit of downside, but we're looking pretty bullish now, and we didn't even take out the low. So again, what I said earlier this week, we might push up to take up the highs first before continuing down. I still think that is a nice opportunity. If excuse me, if price was to push up, take out the high, then I do think that's a nice place to look for downside in USD, but upside, or maybe EURUSD if you're looking to long that one, because Euro is still trading at a big level. But at the moment, still seeing some USD momentum. And I would wait for us to push back to the highs or take up the highs before looking for the next down move. So if we go take a look at EURUSD, you can see we're pretty much doing the opposite. Nice consolidation. Price came back for a retest. Didn't see much momentum. Looking a little bit bearish this morning. I still wouldn't mind if Euro was to push down one more time before the buy. Again, we're trading at some really impressive areas of support. I do think this is an area where we could have a bit of a breather. Not necessarily a reversal, but at least a push to the upside as we see profit taking and just naturally sellers exiting the market and buyers looking to take price higher. So if EURUSD can give us one more push down, take out these lows, that will be nice. And if you see some strong rejection shortly afterwards, could present a really nice opportunity to take it back up again. I've spoken a lot about this area here for euro, pretty much the same as dollar, just the inverse. And that could be a nice place to short the market back down again if we see some nice rejection when we do get there. But for now, I mean, all EURUSD has done this week is just move sideways, really. So if we can push down, flush out some liquidity underneath that low, then get the move up, that would be great. And then we can probably discuss some shorts later on as well, probably next week at this point. That's still the opportunity I'm eyeing up on euro. Pound looking at a similar thing as well, although I'm not as interested with the buys with pound because it's not testing as strong a level as euro. I do like the low we're trading at here, but it's not really much compared to the way we're trading in the weekly. It's a very pivotal area in the weekly chart. Whereas this low is a strong low, but it's not necessarily pivotal like the euro one. And because there's so much momentum to the downside in pound, I don't really want to go against that until I got a good reason to do so. So with pound USD, I'd rather focus on the shorts. And I do really like the shorts. If we were to come back and retest the low here, fresh level of resistance here, we broke through really nice momentum. Haven't come back for the retest. And again, it lines up pretty well with that 0.618 fib level from the high to the lows. As you can see, lovely confidence in that area. So if pound USD again was to retrace there, that would be a nice place to look to short. And again, looking for the continuation of that momentum. So again, that's still the plan there with pound, but all we've seen this week is just a lot of consolidation, which it doesn't really provide much opportunity for us until we start to see some movement. So yeah, not much to report on there for pound. I do think price is likely to retrace. I mean, USD is going to be a big indicator of that. So that's kind of where I'll be concentrated on. But for pound USD, I do like the shorts, but it's all the way up here, which again might take a while for us to get to. In terms of Aussie dollar and New Zealand dollar, these guys have both retraced, to the upside a little bit. In fact, Aussie dollar did come to retest the low here and did give a nice reaction. I was talking about this level here yesterday. I said if you are looking for Aussie dollar, there could be some nice shorts on the retest of this low. Nice reaction there a few hours ago. And reason being because it was a strong break of the low, a nice retest, but also I still do expect Aussie dollar to keep falling back down to 0.64, as that's why we have that big level on the daily chart. That's what I'm expecting us to bounce to. As I've spoken many a times, big ranging market, naturally expecting us to push to the lower end of that range, which is around 0.64. And we might see a pullback to retest that low before continuing. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for Aussie dollar. The only reason why I'm not a big fan of the setup is just because the retracement isn't big enough for me. I need the market to be a bit more stretched than that. If I do draw the Fibonacci from the high to the low, you can see we're not even coming into the 50 there. So it's not enough for me to tick my boxes. But again, just because it doesn't tick my box doesn't mean the market can't therefore sell off. It's still a nice level, which we are retesting. We've had a nice reaction, and I would naturally expect price to keep pushing lower until we get there, and then maybe we can discuss a big buying opportunity. As the USD has already hit its level, and I think we are bouncing from that. So this one, again, potentially could result in a really big buy, retesting the low here. Nice reaction past couple of days. I'm not so convinced with the movement here, so we might come back down lower for a retest. That could open up a possible double bottom opportunity. There is still that lower level just underneath us. So if that first level doesn't hold, then this is the area I'll be expecting us to turn around from. But either one of those areas, strong level in the daily chart, I do expect to see some buyers step into the market, some sellers take the profit. So I'm expecting some upside, but in terms of some entries, I would be looking for at least a double bottom there before looking for some buys, and then anticipating some entries there, stop loss below, and looking to take that higher up. Even back to that high there is a possibility. If we're really going to bounce at this day level, could definitely see a price move to that high, but I would secure gains along the way, just in case that bearish momentum isn't quite done yet. And of course, with gold and silver, we just mentioned, and dollar CAD's an interesting one. This one has retraced back to a key level on the 4-hour chart and has had a nice reaction. I do like this opportunity. The only reason why I'm not looking to trade it is just because the market's a bit too stretched for my liking. We've been very, very bullish with dollar CAD, and we've flown to the upside, and the market is still pretty stretched. So I do want to see a bit of a relief in that, more relief, I should say, before looking to get into a buy. But it's been a solid resistance level here, which is probably now going to act as support. And if we do stay above this, we could see a big big breakout for dollar CAD and a lot more upside for this one. So this is a nice bullish opportunity, retesting the low there. Nice bullish shift of momentum on the 4-hour chart as well. So if we are going to hold this, there's a lot of room to the upside for dollar CAD, at least back to this area, but possibly all the way back to the high there as well. I think that could be a nice trade, and then secure some gains. And if you do get the follow through, great. Leave some positions to run. Worst case scenario, price comes back down, and you could take a small win or a break even. But it's testing a nice area. I do like it. It's just a bit too stretched for me. Otherwise, I would have taken the trade really. But yeah, I do think there is upside potential there for dollar CAD. And of course, DXY is going to be a very important factor in that, which at the moment, it does look like we're seeing some upside. So if that can keep pushing, probably will take dollar CAD with us to the upside.